Hello and welcome to Strictly Broken Brews. I'm your host Christian Yabaha, and today I'm gonna talk a bit about Fate Apocrypha. I actually didn't want to do this video until the summer because I'm actually really swamped with work, but between work and university there's just no time for me left to really do anything. But I've seen a lot of bad Fate Apocrypha builds, and I kind of wanted to get this out to maybe help you guys approach this set in a way that actually lets you take advantage of what this set has to offer in terms of strength. Because not a lot, like a lot of cards might seem interesting, but they don't really offer you anything. But there is a way to build a set that's actually pretty decent. So the way I approached the set was there's three general shells. There's the red shell with the standby synergies and level swap things. There's the Seek top end shell with the Seek restand, and there's the Mordred top end shell with the Mordred combo. And ultimately, this video is actually only really gonna cover all Mordred combo shells because I found that the red shell, like I have a deck for the red shell here. But the red shell generally wants to abuse standby, but you don't have really good targets at any point. Then you want to abuse the counter, but you don't already have good you don't have good ways to grab the counter, and you don't have good cards to use the counter on. The best card to use the counter on is the 1/0 Berserker. But that also needs to survive for a turn while it's only a 5k attacker. And preferably wants to reverse something during your turn anyways. And the only way to really grab the counter is the 1/0 Mordred, or triggering a door. But the 1/0 Mordred also needs reverse, and also is just a 5/5 power character. And you also don't have any ways to like give it extra power. And then you need to commit a lot of slots to like the Shiro that self bounces for the standby. But you also need to commit like 3 to 4 slots to the level swapper, so that you can actually put out the climax that you put in with the Red Rider counter. And you also want to like abuse the counter synergy and the level swap synergy in a way that Milky Holmes does with the ally with the Semiramis. That's a lot worse, but it's like still a playable. So it's just a lot of slots devoted to something where you just don't have a payoff because you don't have good standby targets really. Your counter synergy package doesn't really accomplish much, like especially if you compare it to something like Milky Holmes, which really takes advantage of this, of its package. And your top end is also not very good, like the Shiro combo is mediocre to bad. So ultimately this like the red thing is something just that I just abandoned very fast after looking through the card pool. The yellow restand idea is better, but the problem comes from Berserker part of the combo where you need to put multiple Berserkers into memory. And the Berserker isn't a fixed plussing combo. It's actually like you probably plus like half the time of Berserker, which is not really that great considering it's your level 1 combo. So you need other ways to mitigate that to like get extra pluses. And the problem is basically all of your pluses then cost you stock, which are resources that you're not really building well, or you're not building enough of them to like be able to just keep brainstorming every turn and do your stuff. The top end isn't very expensive, which is the only reason why it even works, where this is even a thing you can do. But you need multiple specific cards in your hand, and you need to have done the level 1 climax combo at least twice at one point. So that's like extra overhead, and you need to have like 2 Siegfrieds, 2 level 3 dragons, and the pants in your hand, which is a lot of commitment. And at that point, then you need to reverse 2 lanes. And if you compare it to the Mordred top end, the Mordred is just a lot less committal, and lets you actually play other cards that take advantage of the strengths that Apocrypha can have more. So, this is why I've built basically just 3 decks that have the Mordred combo top end, And basically the way these decks are different from each other is just a level 1 combo, and like the way the deck is built around this level 1 combo. And I'll just start with the, I guess, most obvious one, which would have been the Mordred level 1 combo with the Mordred level 3. Which I will say this is actually the version of the deck that I like the least, but I'll go over why that is. Level 0 is somewhat straightforward, I guess. It's Forerunner for Akatsuki, something you'll see in every deck. And I don't really think there's a reason not to do this. And for Ricky is also something you'll see in every deck. The counts of the other cards vary, and I'll explain why they vary. So I don't think I need to talk about these cards, but like Salvage Ricky is still pretty good. It has a relevant second ability, and the Frankenstein allows you to mill cards into your waiting room because you need 2 specific cards in your waiting room for your level 1 combo. So this really helps a lot in getting those cards into the waiting room to actually use your level 1 combo. And like free mill is always good. And the reason why I'm running one of the John Brainstorm and only 2 of the Moderate Brainstorm is because of the event. Like the event allows you to usually toolbox for the brainstorm you want, and there's basically no like a very real lack of playable yellow cards. But you still want to play yellow because one of the best level 3s in the set is in yellow. So this like helps with the yellow splash. And you can still usually get the Salvage Brainstorm if you want to Salvage Brainstorm, which you usually do because this is self-tap. And the Jan also only needs to tap itself, so you can use both of your backward slots instead of like being forced to choose between brainstorming and using the level flip effect. And between the level 1 event and the 1/0 Huron, you can usually just grab whichever piece you need. Yeah, and the Jan is basically here to flip back cards, which like in this deck you actually only have the Huron, but I think the Huron is powerful enough to like make an inclusion, and you want to play some card that flips your level anyways, because you don't want to use Mordred to flip the first card of your level, because then she only burns 1. And if she only burns 1, that's a really bad rate. It's like a 3/2 Climax combo, pay 2 to burn 1. It's really terrible. So you really just want to use Mordred as like on like the second and the third flip, and the third slot will be either the Dragon or the Jan. So you really want something to flip cards, and since yellow is very not deep, since yellow has a lack of playables, you'll just play the Jan anyways because it's a global assist, and because it can flip cards back if you want to use Huron multiple times instead of just once per game. You're also a 3-color deck in a sense, so that's also why you'd want to have the option of flipping back cards. Yeah, that's the level 0 lineup. Level 1 lineup is the combo, and what the combo forces you to do is basically play 4 of the Mordred, 4 of the event, because this combo salvages those 2 cards from the waiting room. So if you don't have those 2 cards in the waiting room, the combo is pretty bad. So that's why you run like high counts of all of these cards. You need to run high counts of all of these cards. The Frankenstein is supposed to like alleviate the stock cost a bit, because you have like the Mordred combo cost stock. It's on a stock soul, and you usually only resolve it once. But still, you like want to build extra resources, and you have like a bond to the Mordred combo, which would be extra stock that you use. Yeah, and there's the bond to the Mordred combo. I haven't found more room to play like more copies of this. I would play 3. I wouldn't play 4 probably, but I think 3 is also still good. But I didn't find anything that's like worse that I would cut for the 3rd copy of this. And you can just like play this, get the bond, get the Undeath Akatsuki, and then just use the event to like grab it back if you want another copy of it, or the Huron to grab it back to get another copy of it. Doesn't really matter. Frankenstein is here to generate extra resources. Then at level 2, you don't really have the slots available, since the Mordred and the event eat up so many, to play like a bigger level 2 lineup. So you just run 2 of the 2 soul Mordred to somewhat help you transition until level 3. It's a pretty decent card. It's not as good in this deck as it is in others. In others, it's actually very good. And this is just a tool to get you to level 3 without like falling behind too much. And the anti-change bottom deck bomb, which is something that you don't need to play. Like this is a slot you could put anything else into if you don't feel threatened by early plays. But since this deck has a lack of like other good answers, and since this deck doesn't have a good level 2 plan on its own, I think especially the Morbid combo deck wants to run this. The others are a bit more questionable if they need to run this, but it's meta call and it depends on what you think. And level 3 is then 4 moderate because you need to run it for the thing, for the event combo. 3 dragons and 1 La Pucelle. The La Pucelle is generally a better finisher, and it also like kills the opponent's cards because it gets like huge. It gets comes 18-5 on its own, but it's not a heal, and the dragon is a heal. So what you can do is like play 2 dragons and crash into the 3rd lane, and then you have like empty board, and then the next turn play a couple mortars. Or if you're at 3-0, then the Jan makes more sense because the Jan is like better because it's like a ping extra, and it's not reliant on the opponent canceling to get the ping. So, yeah, that's the deck. And you're already starting to see something that Fate Apocrypha can do, which is heal down to 3-0 and clear the board. Or not even heal down to 3-0, even if they don't heal down, they can just clear their own board, and the opponent can't really do anything about it. So decks with on-reverse finishers get fucked, and killing people from 3-0 while they have an empty board is basically impossible for every deck. It's not impossible in the sense that it doesn't happen. It's gonna happen a bunch of times, but like basically every finisher sucks at killing people from when you have an empty board from 3-0 or whatever. Yeah. I'm actually like I'm trying to think if there's anything, which I probably should have done beforehand, but I don't think there's anything that has a decent chance of killing people from 3-0 with an empty board. Maybe something like Miku against middling compression. Or Sino. Oh yeah, Miku is probably the best. Something along those lines. Yeah, there's that. Let's switch to the in my eyes better versions. Oh, I guess I'll talk Astolfo first and then John. So Astolfo, you see a very similar level 1 lineup. The only level 0 lineup. The only change is that you're not running the yellow brainstorm, but you're running 1 copy of the blue brainstorm instead. Because you don't need to fix for yellow as badly, since you're also running level 1 yellow cards. And you're running 3 of this instead of 2, because the other deck can just grab this card more easily with the event, and this deck can't grab it as easily with the event. So you can still grab it with the Huron fairly easily, but higher count, more yellow, yada yada. You could play like 1 copy of the yellow brainstorm over this, I guess, to like give you more yellow, but I'm just more comfortable with running this at 3 instead, because the yellow brainstorm just being tapped 2 actually really hurts. So level 0 lineup is the same. This is still at 4 because it's just a good card, like the Frankenstein on that Vakatsuki. Level 1, again, you have 4 of the level 1 combo, but you run higher counts of the Huron, and you're running less of the Frankenstein because, well, this deck needs to stock, like, needs to generate extra has less of a need to generate extra resources. And not only that, the Berserker wants to reverse, and the level 1 combo also wants to reverse. Whereas in the Mortar deck, the Mortar doesn't need to reverse, so you're more likely to find something for the Berserker to kill. But this deck wants to reverse with its level 1 combo, so it's less likely the Berserker finds something to kill. So you're also running less copies of it. For level 1 combo, it's with the book on reverse, you may reveal top and add it to hand, and then it gains the errant bounce effect until the end of the opponent's turn. It's a pretty good combo by itself. The problem is that it's so weak. So it's just a 6k, which is attacker baseline, which is not really that terrible. Like 6k attacking combos are playable right now because we're in a meta where people just try field as soon as possible, and then often like people get hit to level 1 first and have like staggering stuff to reverse. Or they're using level 1 combos that are very weak on defense, where like being 6k, 6-5 is actually outside of the counter range, because not even every deck is getting 2k counters now, and not every deck is playing them, even if they have them. And even if they have them, and even if they are playing them, a lot of decks only run 1 or 2, so they might not even have it in their hand. And in addition to all of that, if you resolve one of the Astolfos, it's very likely to be a +2. So you only really need to resolve one of them. So those are a bunch of the reasons why this combo is playable. I'm using one of the blue brainstorms instead of one of the red brainstorms, mainly because of not only because of diversity and allowing you to choose from where you want to search, but also because this is an assist. And this makes Astolfo 6/5. And 6/5 is actually a lot better than 6k, because it allows 4 or 5 characters with a 2k counter, which actually exists, which basically allow you to get over. And especially if you have the Juggernaut and the Brainstorm, you're 7k, and 7k is basically enough to get over most Climax combo characters with a counter. Yeah. And being 6/5 also allows you to tie Ellie clones without an assist behind them, which happens, those cards exist a lot. This is why this is here. More copies of Huron, because you're not using the event toolbox and instead using Huron's toolbox, your bad cards. This is also why you're using you're going around in for Akatsuki to toolbox the cards you get from Astolfo, which is himself and the random top card of your deck. The Huron and the Frankenstein can toolbox those cards into cards you actually want. And then you're running 2 of the Chan. Because first of all, it's a power pump for the Astolfo, and the level flip effect is actually pretty decent. Pay 1 to give 1 soul to 2 characters is really good rate. So you obviously can't use both of those in the same turn, usually, unless you're already level 2. But even then, you're probably not using both of those. But you can use either of them, and you have 3 Johns to flip cards back. And this is also yellow, which is relevant because, as I said, there's a lack of playable yellow cards. Level 2 lineup, the only thing we gain here is the anti-change counter, and this is because this deck can afford to run it. It has the slots to run it, and it's also better at affording the resources, since Astolfo generates so many resources and doesn't cost anything. You're still running 2 of the Mordred combo, but here you get to pair it with something, and you get to pair it with the early play Chan. And this is actually a really good combo, because the Chan says draw 1, and you can play a cost 1 character from your hand free. So it's a +1, and you save a stock on playing a second 2 soul beater. And generally the general consensus is that 1 2 soul beater is basically always getting answered, because the opponent either just puts their own early play there or puts a level 3 killer there. Whereas 2 big lanes require a lot more commitment, and some decks actually just can't answer 2 lanes because they only run 1 anti-change bomb or whatever. So having 2 big lanes is pretty powerful, and the anti-change counter helps that because it turns off their early plays from killing your characters. And the Chan also has a third ability apart from the early play and the summon thing, draw summon thing, which is you can ditch a card to give something 2k. So it's an extra assist to one, or a free backup basically to one of those characters. It turn any card into a backup. So it's even less likely that both of these die, and that gives you a pretty solid level 2 game to carry you until level 3. And your level 3 then, this play is less, this play is 3 Mordreds, because you're only playing 4 Mordreds in the other deck because you need it for the level 1 combo, but since you're never resolving triple Mordred, and Mordred is worse than every other level 3 unless you do the combo, and since you only ever do combo twice, 3 Mordred is enough. Still playing 3 Dragons because it's a very good card. Heals and removes itself from field and finishes. and 2 jacks, which is a card that allows you to dig for your climax, and it's similar in the role that the yellow Chan fulfilled in the other deck, that it's good to field alongside the 2 moderates, as is if you're like 3-0, or if you're needing to dig for the gate. It's like an extra finisher that doesn't cost you extra stock. So with 8 stock, you can do Jack double moderate. With 8 stock, you can also do Dragon double moderate. But if you're at 3-0 already from the moderates, then the Jack is just better. Or if you need to dig for, if you need to like draw into the gate, then the Jack is just better. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's correct to run 2 Jack or 1 Jack and 1 Trial Deck Mordred, because the Trial Deck Mordred can dig deeper. Instead of just 2 cards, the Trial Deck Mordred can look at 5 cards to find the door. That's probably a thing between preference and like, yeah, it's probably just a thing that's preference, and I'm also not sure which is better. It's like your choice. And that's this deck. And then we get to the Chan combo. Same level 0 lineup as the other deck. Same level 1, is it same? Well, no, not same level 1 lineup. Same level 0 lineup. Same thing with the 1 of Brainstorm and the 2 with the 2 Salvage Storms and 1 Search Brainstorm. Because the Huron just allows you to toolbox for whichever one you need. And both of them are self-rest, so they don't interact badly with the Chan Brainstorm. With the Chan level flip thing. And you're still running 4/4 of the runner Ricky Katsuki because those are good cards. Anyways, you're back to running 2 of the Frankenstein to generate more resources because your combo isn't on reverse. And yeah. The Chan combo has like the requirement, if you have 5 or less stock, you can Akatsuki on attack. And this is not a real requirement, because basically if you do triple Chan, you need to have 4 stock at the beginning of your attack phase. That doesn't happen. And like if you say you're not doing the combo at a later point in the game, like that's not the goal anyways. Your Chans likely won't survive. You need to draw into a second wind. That's just not a scenario that's gonna come up a lot. And even if it does, you can use like your early play, the 2/1 Mordred, the Brainstorm, to get back to 5 stock. And even with 5 stock, you can resolve 1 combo. Resolving double combo at like that point in the game is just, it just doesn't happen. So this is not a real drawback. The combo is very good. And this also basically between the on-death Akatsuki and between your Maguro combo, this deck just turbos through its deck. But like you get to first refresh very fast. On that note, like siding this or removing it from the stock clock or bottom deck bomb, it's actually probably very, very valuable against this deck, because this card just opens up a lot of options and plays, because this is basically your best utility. Actually, siding it doesn't make any sense because the opponent can just play over it. So like removing it from field is a thing that hurts this deck a lot. Yeah, that's something I wanted to point out. Level 1 lineup I already talked about. Level 2 lineup is exactly the same. Again, the bottom deck bomb is something you can cut for other cards. More so in this version than in the Mordred version. And the level 3 lineup is again similar. You see here I run 1 Jack, 1 Mordred. This could also be 2 Jack, or in the other deck you can run 1 Jack, 1 Mordred. This is not like deck specific, this is just things I've tried. And I'm not sure which one is better. And here again you have the room to play 1 La Pucelle, which is better than the dragon generally, except when you heal with the dragon. Because the La Pucelle kills whatever is opposing it and still removes itself. So often what you can do is like, if you're at 3-1, you just play 1 dragon, 1 La Pucelle, crash the 3rd lane, let all of your stuff die, the opponent can't kill you. Then the next turn you can play like double Mordred into double combo. Or if you're at 3-2, you just play 2 dragons, and then the next turn you do double Mordred combo. And then after doing double Mordred combo, you're still probably not like super dead. Like there's a realistic chance that you're still not in a very good kill range if the opponent already used their finishing combo during the turn where you had an empty board. Yeah, and you still have access to the early play double early play combo plan. And basically, the strength of Apocrypha, which I was alluding to earlier, is that you can basically always remove your field at level 3. And that's a powerful thing because it's hard to die when you have an empty field. So this is a very good 2-turn kill deck in that sense. And that's, I think, the niche Apocrypha. This is where it can leverage its power. I think these 2 cards are what make Apocrypha like a playable deck. Apart from like all these other good-ish cards, this is what like makes your end game tick, because you get 2 turns at level 3 basically every game. So hope you learned something from this, and I'll see you very likely at the beginning of July, at which point probably the new finisher stuff, like new finisher tables, are all done, and I'll probably come back with definitely covering Madoka. I might cover Nanoha, probably with Ryan if I do that. I'm not sure if I'll probably cover DC. Even though like most of what I would say about DC has already been said in the top tiers video, so you can just watch that to like hear my thoughts about what DC decks are playable and what DC got from the new set. Did I forget anything else? I don't know. It will just come up and you can comment if you want to see something else or what you thought or whatever, really. I'll read all of the comments. So, see you guys next time.